Hello again. Okay, can you hear me now? Are we all together now? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? It's breaking up. Still being weird. Cheryl, California, am I smooth for you? Yeah? Okay. Can you hear me, Cheryl Crow? Crowell? Sorry. Yep. Okay. All right. So when I was doing scrapbook supplies, I it, I knew a little bit about asking questions, but I wanted to get really good at it. And I had earned a trip and I had a title with my company. And I said, okay, I want to do something different. I really want to like make money now, because you can have a title with a company and still not make a ton of money. But I wanted to do something different. So there was a gal that taught about this whole thing with asking questions. So I started asking more questions. And what I would do at the first of my parties, I would ask everyone, tell me your three top memories that you want to remember, that you want to have recorded. That's what I'd ask them. Tell me your three top memories. Can you hear me, Cheryl? Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, let me try something. Hang on real sec. Okay, can you guys hear me all right? Hang on 2 seconds. All right. Okay, so what I did is ask them their top three memories that they want to make sure that they preserve. And I'm going to help you come up with questions like this for your product, okay? And they all told me their favorite memory. And what happened was all of a sudden they bought very specific product based on what they talked about, instead of buying that impulse. Oh, that paper is so cute. I can't live without it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's super cute. Okay. And we changed how and why people were buying things. And it was amazing, because what happened was people were telling me, now you have to understand, when I grew up, I was known for being very opinionated, not that I'm not still. And I was always, so if somebody, like if you went around a room and everybody had to say, oh, this characteristic of this, someone was Christ-like and someone was patient and someone was giving and someone was, I was bold. Okay, that was what I was always called. I was always called bold, which sometimes I'm like, really? Like, is that the only thing good I have about me? But so that's what I was known for. And here I had people going, wow, you're not pushy at all. And my sales doubled. Okay. Like that was a huge aha for me. And it wasn't like they knew I was being called bold before, but they were having so much fun. And I still remember people going, I'm going home with exactly what I wanted. And I had a consumable product. You use up the paper, we need more paper to preserve the next memory, right? If they went home with an impulse item, it got put in their closet and they didn't use it, guess what? Were they going to buy from me? As Were they as likely to buy from me again? Were they going to refer me to somebody if they didn't preserve their memories? No. But they went home with what they most wanted. I got more repeat business, more referrals, more recruits, because I was 100% focused on them and what they were going to get out of it. Okay? Now, I know, see, this is the thing where we're going to like bridge this gap. I know that both of you are very passionate about your products. Agreed? Anybody just like, it's okay? You love your product, right? You really believe in your product. And so there's like this desire for other people to have the product, right? Like, oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna be so like, a friend of mine did Tupperware. Like my cupboards have all the little containers and they're labeled because she come and organize my closet. Like it's way fun, okay? And when you have that, you want everybody else to have an organized closet, okay? But when we start telling everybody that what sometimes happens is that all of a sudden we're coming off with you should have an organized closet, and because I love it, you'll love it, and da da da, and we all of a sudden are infomercialing instead of being genuine. Okay, does that make sense? And when we ask questions, that is when all of a sudden you become authentic. Because I wanted them to preserve their memories just as much as anybody else, right? I mean, my desire for them to have memories preserved, that was pure and that was sincere. But when I was just telling them they should preserve some memory and should get some paper versus I focused on the memory they wanted to preserve, that's when things changed. But the only way you do that is by asking questions. Okay? So if you're asking what part of cooking do you want to make easier, or what kind of leftovers do you normally have, or what part of your kitchen cupboards are driving you crazy, like I need to get better familiar. I know like Amway's products are like so broad, okay? So I'm not doing a very good job having sample questions for you, Cheryl or Sherry. But do you see what I'm saying? Like when we can start asking questions about people's lives, and then we're like, when they said, oh, our family went to the beach and it was this amazing week during spring break, and I would love to preserve that memory. Well, I knew exactly what paper to show them. Versus that, no, what do you think is fun and cute? Okay? Can you feel how different that is? Who wants to get to the point where they'd be really good at that? Okay? Things changed. So the next trip period, my goal was to earn it in half the time, and I did that. And it was all because I was asking more questions. I knew how to ask questions to recruit. I knew how to ask questions to book. I knew how to ask questions to sell. All those things. To upsell. Okay? Can you believe, like, you get to be a better listener and that actually sells more? It's kind of fun. Okay? So in this lesson, you're going to see a variety of questions. And Cheryl, Oregon, you've seen some of this. And Cheryl, California, you can go to my website, and there are lots of free classes on there, and the booth class is on there. And in all those classes, I talk about asking questions, okay? We're going to go over this over and over, and you can ask Elizabeth. We never quit talking about this, okay? We're going to talk about asking questions and talk about asking questions in every part of your business. So let me start by telling you just a couple of them. Cutting out, darn it. Okay, is it smooth yet? Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay, awesome. All right, so there are a couple different types of questions that you're going to have so much fun with that are really easy to do. You're also going to be able to learn how to use these in a setting where you might be, at a doctor's office or a mall or a grocery store, and you will learn how to ask questions in any place you're at, so you can also find new customers as you're going along, okay? These will totally change how you do your business. This is so much fun, okay? So the first one I call is the positive question. Have you ever noticed if you have someone that you're close to and they've vented to you about something, maybe it's finances or weight. I mean, it could be an issue that's kind of sensitive, and they've been venting about it to you. And if you go back to them and go, hey, I was reading this article and I was thinking of you and what you were talking about and this thing you did, weren't very happy with, and I thought this might be a solution for it. And they go, oh, no, 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 it's not as bad as that. And you're like, I listened to you. You're like, you made it sound really big. Okay. Have you ever had a situation where someone didn't want to admit as big as it was when you brought it up, but they were okay to talk about it and vent themselves about the problem? Have you ever seen that happen? Or even might be venting to someone else and they bring it up and you're like, oh, no, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. Okay. We all, for some reason, we're okay with talking about our own problems, but we don't really like it when other people bring up our problems. Does that kind of make sense? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Does that make sense, Cheryl, California? You don't understand, Cheryl? You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? No, it's choppy. It's good now? Okay. All right. So we don't like it when other people bring up our problems. Would you agree with that? Okay. So what I call the first question that I ask people is what's called the positive question. Okay. The positive question is when we ask somebody something that we know there's a chance they're going to go into telling us what they don't like about it because we've asked them what they do like about it. Okay. If we are to ask somebody, what do you love about cooking? They may go, well, are you having a hard time hearing me, Cheryl? Okay, hang on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try calling in and muting myself on this. Can you guys hear me? Yes? Okay.
ID followed by the pound or hash sign. If you've joined via a computer, enter your participant ID followed by the pound. Okay, can you guys hear me? Is it smooth now? Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me okay, Cheryl, California? Okay, there we go. All right, we'll do this. I'll move my computer back to my office that's closer to the modem. I don't usually have this many problems. I think it's because I'm too far away from the modem. Okay, all right, so the positive question. What I like to ask people is something along the lines of, like I say, if you ask somebody what they like about cooking, how often will they end up telling you that, well, I like this, but I hate the cleanup, or I hate how long it takes, or I hate the prep, okay? What we like to do is to find a question. People like it when we are positive. They like it when we ask something positive, but then there's an opportunity for them to vent about something. If somebody's selling makeup, for example, you can ask, hey, what's the one feature on your face that you love to highlight? Or what do you like about your facial features? And then they can move forward with, they'll probably tell you something that they don't like. Cheryl, Oregon, can you tell me, can you type down at the bottom 1 to 3 products that you like to sell that are associated with Amway for me, so I can give you a couple examples? Okay. When you start with a positive question, it's just really fun to see the difference in people and how they handle the question and how they'll end up venting on their own. Now, if they only tell you positive things that have happened, one of the things that you do after that is we go into and we just ask, we want to minimize it as much as we can. We don't want to make it sound like and assume that people have problems. What we want to do is go, if there was one thing you could improve on, what would that one thing be? And so it sounds is minimized, and we sound like we believe they have very, very few problems. People like to feel like they're doing really well and that they can do it on their own and that they've tried everything possible to solve a problem. So they don't like to admit problems. So do you kind of hear how you can talk about a positive thing? Like if somebody says, oh, I love cooking, I cook all the time, I love the different, how we sit down as a family, and they don't say anything negative about it. You could ask Cheryl, California, if there was one way we could make cooking easier for you, or one way to make your life easier in the kitchen, or one thing that and you want to use the word improve. You can ask what's the one thing that you don't like about it, but it kind of sends this, it just isn't positive, and people like how they feel around you the more positive that you speak. And so when you ask what's one thing you'd like to improve, do you see how different that is? It's very forward moving. It's a more positive way of saying it. Okay? Finger system wouldn't find that path. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So asking somebody what they love about shopping, that would be a nice conversation starter and a nice open-ended question. Now, if you notice, these questions are all what we call open-ended versus yes, no. It is incredibly tempting, and we've seen it done by so many people, to ask leading yes, no questions. Well, you like eating healthier. You like having beautiful skin. You like having, do you see what I'm saying, Cheryl, California? It's real easy to have these leading questions. You like this, don't you? This would be important to you, wouldn't it? And they're leading, and you can you feel how it's kind of that salesman manipulative feeling, okay? But I'm telling you, it will come out of your mouth automatically because that's what other people's done to you. And so it's just what all salespeople do when they don't know any better. Even though they hate how it feels, and they just don't know a different way to do it, okay? And it's funny because you can ask Elizabeth about this. It was a habit she had to break and change. And it's just because, and it's not because people aren't genuine or sincere. They just don't know a better way to do it. Well, you like having dinner with your family at home, don't you? Okay, which might be true, but it just doesn't come off it just kind of comes off sort of preachy, right? Kind of has like a feeling, okay? It's all about how it feels. That's what's so important, is to realize, how did that question feel when I said it? Okay? And so when we ask open-ended questions, hey, tell me a little bit about what your habits are with eating dinner at home with your family, or eating with your family. Is this something you do eating out, or do you do it at home? Do you like to cook together? Oh, that's a yes, no. But what kind of things do you like to cook together? When you're asking these, it shows much more curiosity and you get more information. And my other best, silliest example of this is, if you're making lunch for somebody and you came in and you just said, hey, do you like peanut butter sandwiches? And they said no. Do you know what they do like? All you know is that they don't like peanut butter sandwiches, but you don't know what to make them now, right? Okay, and that's why you gotta ask open-ended questions versus yes, no. Or if they go, yeah, I like peanut butter, but there's something else they'd like better, and you were willing to make it for them, or you have something else to offer them, and you're like, well, why didn't you tell me that you like, Swiss and ham? Well, I didn't know you had that. You didn't offer it to me. Okay, that's what happens with your product. If you just say, well, you'd like your lettuce crisper, wouldn't you? Well, yeah, of course. But there was this whole other problem that they wanted to solve instead. Do you see what I'm saying? Is it a click? Is there kind of an aha moment with, oh, there's a different way to do this? Okay. So we're going to help you get really good questions for your business. It's so fun. Like I said, it's hard to break these habits, and you'll totally find yourself either only asking 2 questions or yes, no, and you'll have your little slip ups, and it's okay. But you'll start feeling this difference of how people will open up to you. They'll tell you more about what they need, and you're able to go, oh, because this is what you need, here's product A, B, and C that's going to fix that. And you might sell them more because you actually listened to more of what they needed at the same time. It's a total win, 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 win situation. And let's just say their kitchen is completely organized. They have all the tools they want. There's nothing that you can sell them. If you sat and listened and were kind, they still might refer you to somebody because you made it about them. Versus if you're like, oh, you're going to love this product. You're like, no, I have one of those. No, I have one of those. No, I have something that works like that. And then you're like, oh, what do I offer them? And you know what I mean? It's just that horrible stuck feeling. You don't have to feel stuck ever again. You're going to know what to offer them. And if you don't have anything to offer them, you go, I don't have anything you need. It has been really fun getting to know you. And then there's not that weird moment when you see them in the grocery store and you don't know what to say. Okay? This starts eliminating, because do you ever have that situation, that awkward, that like you ask them something and you hope it's going to lead to XYZ, but it doesn't, and then you don't know what to do? That's because you've been given this script, and you go through the script and hope it clicks with somebody, but it doesn't click with everybody. When we ask questions, we figure out which way to take the script, and we can offer them something that they need. Okay? And of course, I had people now and then that said, I never took pictures, or they already had a system for preserving their memories. Maybe they did it online, or I don't know, just have their own way of doing it. Yeah, there were absolutely people that I ran into, or people said, I am never going to make my own cards. I go to the dollar store and I'm very happy with that. Okay, no problem. They were just there for the brownies. No big deal. Okay, that's totally okay. But you know why they walked away, because you asked good questions, and there's not as much of that weird feeling that you were just trying to convince them to buy something. You know why they're not. Okay? Do you see how like the feeling changes in this? That's why it's so exciting. Okay? So exciting. All right. So we're going to go over, I want you to read through these questions. There's a whole bunch of other ways to do them. And I want you to look over these. And I want you to start thinking about your product. And I want you to put down the best that you can, 10 different questions. And you're going to write them, and you've got to say it out loud, and you have to answer the question yourself. And you'll find some of them will be yes, no. Some of them won't be really well open-ended questions, and some of them you'll be like, I just don't know how to word this. That's totally okay. I'm going to help you with it. Okay? But I want you to give it a shot. But seriously, go to the website and watch some of those other videos, because we talk more about questions there, and we'll keep talking about it. Okay? This is 12 weeks of learning how to ask really good questions. So just do the best you can. Go through the examples in lesson 2. There's 3 pages worth of them. But there are lots of starters for questions, and you're going to go, oh, I'm going to find out so much more about this person. I'm going to know exactly how to help them with Tupperware. Okay? Hello, Cheryl Oregon. I think your internet isn't very happy either if I lost you there. Can you hear me? Okay. I was just kind of wrapping up, but I was talking about these questions, which you've heard some of this. There's 3 pages. There are 3 pages worth of question starters. Okay, Cheryl, and so you're going to find 10 different questions that you can create with your product and send them to me. And just know we are going to talk about this every week, over and over again. You can go and watch this recorded. You can watch the recording on my website of different other types of classes that have questions. But this is going to become something that's your thing. You're going to get incredibly good at this. Okay? Sound good? Okay. All right. So you have a few things to do from an assignment last week, and then you have these 10 questions. Okay. Your appointment here, Cheryl, California. We're going to end this. I'm going to, and it'll be recorded so you can see the end of this, Cheryl, Oregon. Okay. All right. Okay, then. So you need to, okay. It's okay. We're going to end, and I want you to really thoroughly do those assignments from number 1, do your tracker, and start creating questions, okay? The booklet's in the email with the link from the video. If you deleted it, let me know. I'll resend it to you. Okay, Cheryl, California? Sound good? All right. Okay, you guys have a good one. See you later.
Yeah.